Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to start this video by saying if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. My plan today, being Friday and having the morning off and the early afternoon off, was to kick back and just watch something mindless on Netflix. But Spirit has another plan, I feel, for me right now, as I'm being inspired quite strongly. Just sit down, hit record, and just start speaking and seeing where Spirit is inspiring me to go. As I'm sitting here, having hit record already and speaking to you lovely people, I am being inspired to talk about trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the spirit world. Trust in the intelligence of the spirit world. The spirit world know exactly what they're doing. They know that you are the right medium for them to bring through their messages of love and the evidence of so-called death to their loved ones sitting in front of you. Trust that Spirit will always show up when we show up. Trust that you are a medium and you need to trust your abilities and trust your instincts and intuition to find the correct classes, the correct books, the correct videos that will help you in your development, and the correct teachers. Knowing that the spirit world put the correct people in front of you to learn from so you could grow and advance in your mediumship. The spirit world does not make mistakes, and there are no coincidences in the spirit world. They know what they're doing. I believe, and I know, and I trust that I've worked all this out with the spirit world and God way before my time here on earth, that I am supposed to be used as a channel and a vessel to bring through the messages from the spirit world of love, healing, and survival of death to their loved ones or to the world. I know that I've worked this out with the spirit world. You have to have the trust that if you're called into this sacred and divine line of, well, I don't want to say work, into this calling, that this is not a mistake. You're supposed to be doing this. It doesn't matter if you had a life before this. I had a whole other life before I started my mediumship professionally. Doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, or 50, or 60 years old, or 70. If you're doing it now, you're doing it exactly when you're supposed to do it. You have to have trust in that. You have to have trust that before you started, you weren't ready. You needed to have the life experiences and perhaps some reflections on your own being and your own reactions and self that you needed to have before you started on your journey. That's good. That's normal. But you have to keep the faith. You have to have the trust that you are meant to be used as a channel for spirit. You have to have the faith and trust that we, as mediums, are working with spirit in tandem, and we are in partnership with the spirit world. The spirit world need us. They have no power in this physical world. They need us to bring through their love, their evidence, their healing, their wisdom, their philosophy. It goes on and on. It's a partnership. We need to meet spirit halfway. We need to take the hand of spirit and have the faith and trust that we are meant to be doing this work. I don't know how many of you have gone into readings or on platform um, demonstration situations where you get nervous. Getting nervous, I feel, is good because it's showing the spirit world. It's also showing yourself that you take this seriously, that you want to do the best job you can possibly do for the spirit world. We work for the spirit world, I feel. So getting nervous is not a bad thing because it's showing that you take this sacred work seriously. That's good. But if you're going into a reading and saying, oh God, I hope spirit shows up, I hope they come, don't leave me out there alone on the ledge. Why would spirit put you in a situation to get you in front of their loved one or in front of a whole group of people and not show up? Of course they're going to show up. They always show up. Spirit always shows up, period. Sometimes I feel we don't show up. Sometimes I feel our brain gets so active that we're not aware of their messages and we're not aware of their essence. Spirit is always there. Sometimes we might feel that nothing's happening in our development, that we plateaued, that we're not advancing. That's when you have to go back to the trust. You have to have the trust that spirit knows what they're doing. Spirit is working on so many levels with us. So a lot of times all of this growth might be happening under the surface. It's sort of like when you plant a seed in a garden and you nourish the seed. Give it the right temperature. Give it water. Give it nutrients. All of this activity and energy is happening in the seed, but we can't see it. It's below the earth. And it's growing, and it's growing, and it's growing, and we're not seeing anything. And you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're getting more frustrated and frustrated. And it's growing, and it finally will break the surface and see the sunlight, and then you see all this growth. And all of this beauty of what the spirit world can do with us if we just have the trust. However, I find, and it's heartbreaking, when all of this activity is happening still below the surface and people just give up. I'm not good. Nothing's happening. I'm not improving. I'm not getting better. But you have to also have the trust that a lot of this development is happening in the pauses, in the quiet times. You need the quiet times. You need the pauses. You need to have the trust in the spirit world that they're just not going to start you on your journey and then not help you. Of course they're going to help you. We have to help ourselves as well, of course. It's a partnership. We have to meet spirit halfway with our energy, with our love, with our motivation. That's a given. We have to work hard at it. It's not the easiest thing. Mediumship is not easy. I think mediumship is simple. I think the theories of it are simple. We just have to be quiet and present, and rather passive, but inquisitive. But it's hard to get to that state. So you need to work at it. You need to work at your meditations. You need to learn to quiet your mind. You need to have the trust that all of this work will pay off. And have the trust that the spirit worlds have worked all this out for us. They know where we're going. They know what we're supposed to do. And we just have to go and let them guide us. Of course, it's all free will. We don't have to do this. It's our free will to say, you know what, this is not something for me. That's okay too. But when you stop because you're frustrated or you don't feel anything's happening, that's horrible. That's not something spirit would do. Spirit is not going to guide you and bring you down this path and then not help you. They want to help you, but we have to help ourselves and we have to give spirit the gift of our trust and our patience. It takes time. The human mind is an imperfect organism for mediumship. It's far too active. It's far too critical. it will try to undercut and undermine you at any point. It needs to have the information, and a lot of times mediumship is based on us not asking for information, just allowing the information to flow through us. Because when we ask or when we question too much, our brain kicks on and we're active. And then the spirit world can't just use us as a conduit, which is what we are. So you just have to look at this journey that it's a gift of trust. It's a gift of faith in God and to the spirit world, and just let them guide you. Let them take you. They know where you're supposed to go. They know what you're supposed to do. So just see if you can give spirit your love, always, and your trust. They have trust in you. They wouldn't have put you in this situation if you couldn't handle it. They wouldn't have put you onto this path if you couldn't do it. Of course you can do it. You just have to have the faith and the trust to just go and see what appears in your path. It's all coming in front of you for a reason. And it's our job just to have the trust that we see it and we acknowledge it. Thank you.